So we already seen in previous lectures how we can run Linux commands on the target server. All you have to do is just literally type in the command. For example, we can type in pwd to see where we are. We can navigate back, cd ... we can list what we have, and we can do anything we want on the target server. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case. In many cases, you might gain access, upload your shell, and have Weebly working, but every time you run a command, you won't see the result, or you might get permission denied. And this will happen because the server is configured in a way to prevent you from running commands on that server. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a function that comes in with Weebly. So let's first type in help to see all the functions or the commands that we can use. And the function that we're going to use is called shell sh. And as you can see in the description, it says it allows us to execute shell commands. So using the function is very simple. All you have to do is type in shell sh and then type the command that you want to run. So you can type in again pwd and you'll see the current working directory. Now, this will just use the default way that we've been using so far anyway. So if the default way doesn't really work, this will probably not work for you either. What I want to show you here is what this function allows you to do. So it actually allows us to run Linux commands using a number of methods. So it's very similar to the idea of the etc password when we were reading it. In this case, if you can't run commands on the target server, then it's probably because your user is configured in a way that's not allowed to run bash commands. So what this function allows us to do is run the command through a PHP function, or through a Python function, or through a Perl function. So this way you're actually not running the command directly. You're running a PHP function, and then the PHP function itself runs the command. Therefore, if you don't have permission to run commands directly, you'll be able to bypass this by running the command through a PHP function. So to see all the vectors or all the methods that we can use to run the command, we're going to do shell sh followed by -h. And as you can see, the first thing you see is the general way of using the command. So you type in shell sh and then you type where you want the command to be displayed. This is the redirection, and we're not going to mess with that because we want it to be displayed on screen. After that, you specify the vector. So this is what we're talking about. This is the methods that you can use to run the shell commands. And you can see that you can run it using system. So this is the default way of running the commands. You can also use a PHP pass-through function. So this is the one that we used to use when we were executing commands using PHP, remember, in the code execution vulnerabilities. Again, you have a number of PHP functions. So if one of the functions is disabled, you can use the other one. You can also run commands using Python through the Python interpreter, and you can run functions using the Perl interpreter. So to use this, we're going to use the same command, shell sh, followed by -v, just like we see here in the template. So it's telling us first thing you type in is the command, followed by the vector, and we're going to choose a vector to use. And for the first one, let's try the Perl system. So we're going to use Perl system. So this is the actual function that will execute the command that we specify. And you can see here in the template, so it's shell sh followed by the vector, followed by the command that we want to run. And let's run this time. We're going to try to run who am I. Hit enter. And as you can see, this doesn't work. So we're going to go back and we're going to change the vector. And let's try to use pass-through. And we know pass-through works because we used it before. So again, we're using pass-through as a vector and we're running the command who am I. Hit enter. And as you can see now, the command got executed on the server. So again, in our particular case here, this doesn't seem very useful because we can run commands normally. We can just type in who am I. But in a lot of real case scenarios, you won't be able to run commands directly like this, and using this function with the vector could be very useful. So all you have to do is just use this shell sh and experiment with all the available vectors until one of them works for you.